Good morning, everyone. For the past few days, we have been discussing about nouns, pronouns, verbs, and adjectives to some extent. Those sessions you can easily find in our language and grammar playlist. Today, we will discuss about one of the most powerful families in the parts of speech tribe, a family that has the power to modify almost any part of a sentence, except nouns and pronouns. Today, we are going to learn about adverbs. We will discuss how adverbs are formed, their various types, and finally end with a close analysis of one of the types, that is, adverbs of manner. But before all that, let's begin at the beginning, that is, what are adverbs? Adverbs are those words which give us some extra information about the verb, adjective, or another adverb in any sentence. It can also qualify a phrase or even a whole sentence, except noun or pronoun. For example, Rohit is doing his homework slowly. You see, Rohit is bored. So, how does he do the assignment? He does it slowly. This chapter can be learned easily. The chapter is basically easy. So, how it can be learned? It can be learned easily. Preeti reads quite clearly. So, how does Preeti read? Clearly. Clearly, but to what degree? How clear is she? She reads quite clearly. In the first sentence, the word slowly tells us about the nature of the verb do, that Rohit is doing his homework slowly. In the second, the word easily qualifies the verb learned. This chapter can be learned easily. In the third, the word quite qualifies the adverb clearly. Preeti reads quite clearly. So we can say that slowly, easily, quiet are examples of adverb. Now let us talk about the formation of adverbs. Many adverbs come as their own unique words like always, often, never, fast, will, here, there, up, down, etc. However, we can form adverbs by adding ly at the end of the root words. For example, hard, we add ly at the end of it to make it hardly. Immediate, again we add ly at the end of it to make it immediately. And finally, certain, we make it certainly. The e at the end of such words like grave, immediate, etc., they keep their e. But the words ending in able or able drop their final e and add y. For example, capable, capably, comfortable, comfortably. We don't write capable, e and then y. The e is dropped and y is added. However, there are exceptions to all rules. So here too we have exceptions like words that usually end in a vowel and e construct drop the e to take ly. Note the keyword usually. This generally happens, but again some exceptions might be there. For example, true, vowel plus e, truly. Due, vowel plus e, duly. Whole, in this case, see the exception. It also becomes wholly. Now let us talk about the various kinds of adverbs. So first of the kind is the one we are going to learn today, adverbs of manner. For example, fast, quickly, well, bravely, etc. Then we have adverbs of place, here, there, down, up, everywhere, somewhere, anywhere, nowhere, etc. Then we have adverbs of time, soon, then, now, today, tomorrow, yesterday, yet, etc. Next, we have adverbs of frequency, degree, always, never, occasionally, seldom, twice, thrice. Then we have sentence adverbs, adverbs that can qualify a whole sentence. For example, certainly, probably, luckily, definitely, etc. Then we have adverbs of degree, hardly, fairly, too, very quite, etc. Then we have interrogative adverbs like when, where, why, all these WH words, they ask questions. And finally, we have relative adverbs like when, where, why, etc. WH words again, but in this case, they don't ask any questions. Now let us talk about adverbs of manner. Adverbs of manner tells us how a thing is done. When we question the verb with how or in what manner, the answers we get are adverbs of manner. For example, she sings beautifully. So how does she sing? Beautifully. They secretly decided to leave the town. How did they decide? Secretly. I foolishly forgot to submit my assignment. How did I forget? Foolishly. He looked suspiciously at everyone in the flight. How did he look at everyone in the flight? Suspiciously. So we can say that beautifully, secretly, foolishly, suspiciously. All these words are adverbs of manner as they tell us how something is done, in what manner something is done. So they tell us about the manner and we call them adverbs of manner. Now let's talk about the position. That is, where do we place these adverbs in a sentence? First of all, adverbs of manner are usually placed after the verb. She sang beautifully. He spoke softly. The staff worked diligently. So you see, she, subject, sang, verb, and then we are writing beautifully. Similarly, spoke is the verb and after that softly is coming. Worked is the verb and then we are adding diligently. In a verb and object construction, they are placed after the object and never in between. So, adverbs of manner will never come in between verb and object. Whenever there are these two things placed side by side, the adverb will be moved to the end. For example, she sang the song beautifully. You see, sang, verb, and then the object, the song. The adverb beautifully comes at the end of it. We will never say she sang beautifully the song. That is, we will never use adverb to separate verb and its object. However, if the construction includes a preposition, as in verb, preposition, and then object, you see, the verb and object is already separated. There is a preposition in between. So the adverb in this case may sit before the preposition or after the object as usual. For example, she smiled at us benignly, that is at the end of the object, or she smiled benignly at us, that is before the preposition. In either case, the meaning remains same. However, remember one thing, benign, the meaning is favorable. Now let's come to the final part. Size matters. You see, the one thing we discussed before that adverbs of manner are placed at the end of the object usually. You see, the position of this adverb is dependent on the size of its object. For example, in a verb and object construction, if the object is short, we have verb, object, and then adverb construction, like she sang the song beautifully. But if the object is lengthy, the construction changes to adverb, then verb, and then object. In either case, the adverb, remember, will never come in between verb and object. It will either come before the verb or it will come after the object. For example, she sang the song beautifully. Sang, verb, the song, object, and then beautifully. In this case, see, the object, the song, is really short. So the adverb is coming after it. But in this example, they secretly planned to leave the town. Here again, planned is the verb, okay, but the object is to leave the town, a really big one. In this case, the adverb is removed, is taken at the beginning of the verb. It is placed before the verb. Remember another thing that change in adverb position may signal a change in meaning as well. If you change the adverb in a sentence, you probably are changing the meaning of that sentence as well. How? Let's take a look. They secretly planned to leave the town. Fine. What is happening here? The adverb is modifying the plan. The plan was made in secret. They secretly planned to leave the town. But in this case, they planned to leave the town secretly. In this case, the adverb secretly is modifying the verb to leave. They will leave in secret. Their plan may not be a secret. So always remember, whenever you are placing the adverb in a sentence, remember to match the meaning which you are trying to imply. I hope you understood this chapter, and if there be any questions, any doubts, feel free to ask. Till we meet again, thank you.